you have made very, very clear is that you do hold the Fed very much accountable for the runaway housing speculation.
Oh, gosh. Yes. Look, when you have a company like CoreLogic, very respected housing data producer, come out and say that a third of all transactions in the country are by investors playing with all cash, I mean, that is the fruits of speculation that overly easy monetary policy fed. Monetary policy fed housing speculation. And that lies right at the door of Jerome Powell. And you don't get this frenzied level of interest unless you've got this investor class who's making it so difficult for the average American to buy a home that they feel like they have to engage in bidding wars. And bidding wars are things that feed upon themselves. And people talk about it. Oh gosh, I'm going to overbid by this much. I'm going to overbid by that. It's a process that the Fed fed.
All right. So now that the Fed is taking a different approach, there are concerns that we're going to see another housing collapse. What's your outlook there?
We certainly are seeing it slow down and slow down fast. We have, I think the latest data is 61% of all mortgage lenders are laying off their staff right now, reducing headcount. We've got more homes under construction than any time since 1973. So the next time we see each other at one of these happy gatherings, we'll be talking about oversupply in housing. And when was the last time anybody talked about oversupply in housing? But 4 out of the last 5 months, we've seen 1 million homes come complete. Well, that's very unusual. So, and mortgage rates are where they are. So affordability has never been as pinched as it is. Your average mortgage payment in the United States is up 39% year over year. Thank you, Jay Powell. So, but we are seeing a very sudden slowdown in the housing market.
But there's no concern of a housing market crash like we saw in 2008. Would it be that severe, especially considering that the banks are better positioned to deal with that?
The banks are better positioned, but we've certainly seen a good number of FHA lending where people only have the 3.5% down, and we've seen tremendous activity in second home sales. That's completely crashed in the space of 3-4 months.
So how bad is the potential housing market crash? Paint me a picture here. And how do you see it playing out?
If you're an average American and housing housing used to be the biggest line item on your balance sheet, but all of a sudden the stock market became an even bigger line item on your balance sheet. What if they start to come down? Or what if the stock market comes down? Oh wait, it has. So if you own 2 homes in America, and many, many, many baby boomers did go out and buy second homes after the pandemic hit. So if your stock market portfolio is in a meltdown mode and you own 2 homes and you have 2 mortgages, what are the implications? You're going to monetize one to batten down the hatches and make sure you don't have to work for 10 more years.
Right.
So we could see a rush of supply into the housing market, and we've already seen evidence that home price appreciation has begun to slow.
Begun to slow, and I understand it's different per area and sector,
of course,
obviously.
Location.
But if you were to hazard a guess in terms of a percentage decline in the U.S. housing sector at large, where do you see that going?
Oh gosh, it's so hard to see because we've still got double-digit home price inflation, and home price inflation follows the supply that we're seeing come online. But I certainly think that 2023 could be a year that we see a negative sign nationwide in front of home prices.
All right, 2023 is when the housing market is really going to start to feel that.
Well, you'll feel it now because, and you're hearing it from the few honest realtors in existence. You're hearing that the bidding wars have ebbed. You're hearing that people are lucky to sell their home. Mm-hmm. So while there's still going to be pockets of hotness, and it takes a long time for the narrative to change, right, especially for your average home buyer, the message is coming through loud and clear.